Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and as you can see we have finished the shuttle. If you remember, we were working on this last time. Bob has welded it up. I did move him a little bit, but we haven't really taken it out for a flight yet, so let's get started. So happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week so far, and the week is shaping up to be something absolutely fabulous. So as the sun comes up, we can actually see what's going on. Let me show you what we've been doing. If you remember the last time we were together, we laid down all the blocks to build this wonderful little shuttle. So everything is, I think, welded up at this point. I know there's easier ways to check, but I just want to make sure. Alright, so some of the changes that we made, let me just show you really quickly. We've gone ahead and added a second connector, and what this will allow us to do is when we're landed on a ship, we'll be able to connect if we, once we have a starbase built, because yes, we are going to be building starports, both here as well as an orbital platform, which we'll talk about a little bit more when we're about ready to go that way. But yeah, so we do have the ability to connect in multiple directions. I did put a couple of programmable blocks in. I threw an ore detector on one side. The antenna is in the same position on the other side. We've got some lighting in here so that we can actually see this thing. I was sitting here, the sun went down in the game, and I realized I couldn't see the bloody ship. So, yeah, that's a thing. And then what we did is, with one of the programmable blocks, we went ahead and threw the automatic LCD 2 script in. So we are able to see what our cargo status is looking like. Right now it tells us we're using a bit of cargo. It's because it's actually reading across the connector. But it also tells us what our oxygen and hydrogen tanks are looking like. So once we're detached from the base, this will tell us just what's on board the ship. So when we're out and about and doing some mining, or if we're transporting goods, you know, it'll tell us basically what our status looks like. When you come over on this side, we actually have the system status. So it tells us what our reactors are looking like, how much power our solars, batteries, and things like that are generating, and as our total power time. So this is actually going to be important because I don't want to have to keep getting in and out of the ship when I'm mining in order to see how much power I have left. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this thing into space, I think. Alright. One of the other things, before I forget, one of the other things that I did is I put a sensor and a spotlight, well, it's not a spotlight, but an interior light, and I just cranked the settings for the light all the way up. So when the sensor is turned on, if the player is within so many meters of the ship, the light turns off. When you get up more than, I think I've got it set for like 20 meters in any direction from the sensor, the beacon light turns on. Makes it much easier to find this thing when you're in space. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you will know that I tend to get lost in space, and I will leave my ship someplace and not be able to find it. So yeah, that's a thing. I've actually done planetary re-entry because of the fact that I couldn't find my ship. So yeah, so hopefully we're not going to have to do that this time. Now everything is wired in. Just take a quick check around here. Looks good, I think. I'll probably end up putting more, I don't know what you call this, baffling or flare on the ship, basically to frame some of this in a little bit better, also make it a little bit more secure. And we do have it set up so that the connector has 0 power on it. So when we land, we can actually touch down with the landing gear, and as you can see, there's no magnetic field or magnetic pull on that thing. Alright, so I am just making sure we have everything we need. Let me check here really quick. Alright, so we want you to go there. What we're going to do is we're going to pull, I don't know, like 50k ice or so, maybe 100k ice. Okay. Now the reason we're doing that is once we get out of atmosphere, our single source of propulsion is going to be the the hydrogen thrusters in general. So I want to make sure that we have enough material with us that we can at least use the thrusters as a pulse style thruster. For those who don't know, what I'm talking about is that once we're out of the planetary gravity and atmosphere, we'll be able to just continue in a direction without using fuel. We just turn our thrusters off, let us drift the way we need to go at whatever speed we're going, and then if for some reason we need to come to a stop, we just turn the system on, come to a stop, turn the system off again. That way we're not wasting any more material than we need to in order to get around. Okay, so we've got a crap ton of O2, we've got a large section of ice. I'm going to go ahead and fill that completely. We're going to grab... It's not like we don't have enough of it. Let's go ahead and... Whoa, didn't want that much. Let's put back 150k. Yeah? Okay. Now the odds are we're going to find asteroids with ice on them, so we'll be able to mine them if we need to. And absolute worst case scenario, we basically point ourselves towards the planet, use whatever fuel we have left to get moving, and then we will free fall into the atmosphere and turn on the atmospherics once we're back. If, of course, well, we know that it's going to support the weight of the basic ship. I'm just kind of curious as to, with that much ice mass, if we're going to run into a situation where we can't fly. We'll find out here shortly. Alright, so we're going to go back to control block 1. Everything here's doing what it needs to do. We've got everything set up. Actually, you know what I want to do? Before we forget, and go here really quick. Looks like all of our production stuff is done. So we're going to leave a few of these cobalt systems running, but we're going to switch everything else over to uranium. So anything that's got cobalt and uranium is getting switched to uranium. How much uranium ore do we have left? Oh no, 183k. Okay, so we're not going to run out of power while we're in space. That's good. Now, speaking of, let's check our large reactor here. The attached large reactor's got 128 uranium in it. Can I pull? I'm gonna pull like 50. Can I pull 50 over here? I think so. There's 50 there, and then we're gonna pull 50 out of this one as well. Because, like I said, that thing is going to be running while it's within range. So hopefully by the time we come back, that will be much further along. Okay. So I think that's everything. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our atmospherics, not our hydrogen. We are going to unlock everything. I'm basically just going to head straight up from here. Show you what this is going to look like. Got pretty good lift to it. As you can see, we are pushing 100% power right now. Just hovering. Actually, only 3%. Well, see what it looks like when it comes to a complete stop. So maintaining, yeah, it's not too bad. And obviously we can't see up above us, which is fine. We don't need to. We will get to a point where the altitude is too high for the thrusters, even though these thrusters are slightly overpowered. Actually make pretty good time, considering. Oh. Alright. Once we get a little bit further up, we'll kick in the hydrogen thrusters. And I do have the hydrogen set up so that once we kick over to them, let's check here. Alright, so we're going to turn off the inertial dampeners. And as you can see, we are already starting to drop speed. I'm going to go to an external view. Once we get down to about 30 meters a second, what we'll do is we'll kick the hydrogens on. Alright, let's turn the hydrogens on. Okay, so that tells us, yes, we know that hydrogen is not going to be enough. Wow, this hydrogen, this might actually not be enough power. Because we're actually falling at this rate. Oh, that's why. Okay. I was being a silly panda today. Okay, let's go straight up here. And one of the things that we will do is, now that we're up here a little bit, we're going to go like this. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to... Oh, that's bad. Not quite what I want it there, actually. We're going to disable those. I'm going to have to rebalance that because I don't want to burn that much hydrogen that quickly. So basically what ended up happening is that... Why am I... Am I really not able to get out of atmosphere? No. There's no... Wow, really? Am I really not able to... So I can hold position here. All right. Looks like we're gaining altitude again. Slowly but surely. Hey look, the Earth-like planet is over there. I see Mars. And that's another Mars. We've got 2 Mars planets. I wonder if that's the moon for this planet. I don't know. We'll have to see. That should be good. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to keep burning my way slowly out of the atmosphere. Hopefully not destroying ourselves in the process. And I will bring you back, because this is usually about a 15-20 minute flight, especially at this speed. So I will go ahead and get into orbit, and then when we get into orbit, I'll bring you back. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So while I was escaping the planetary atmosphere, as you can see, we're still technically within the gravity well. We're at 0.16. But I found an asteroid I wanted to check out before we got too far out on this. And since we're at this altitude, I'm hoping that we should be far enough up that I'll be able to use the hydrogen jets to fly normally. At least enough so that we can get out and take a look at the what's on the planet, on the asteroid rather. Because what I'm hoping, I'm seeing a little bit of black coloring there. Look at that. That's either silver, silicon, or platinum. That's... Do I not have... I didn't... Alright, so let's get over here. We're going to turn on our ore detector really quick. Because what we're looking for is just platinum. That's all we really care about. How much ice do we have anyway? Okay, we're doing okay for ice. And that looks like that might be platinum. Okay, so for those who don't know, I have varying luck with the RNG and his planets and stuff. That is not platinum, is it? See, I play with the different resource mods, so I'm never quite sure what any one resource is. Is this? It would be nice if we could Is my antenna not working? No, my antenna's working. Come on. Alright, so we can now kill all of our thrusters. Helps if I make sure we have our oh, you know why? Normal display. Okay, so it's silicon and I'm seeing iron in there. I'm sitting there going, why can't I see anything? Alright. Now, we are still technically within a planetary gravity, so even if we had artificial gravity, we wouldn't be able to use it. Well, I should rephrase that, because I've had a couple people asking me, why don't I use artificial gravity on planets, on like ships and stuff more often? On really large ships, I will. Like if I'm expecting to get out of them and roam around. Oh, I didn't turn the sensor on. Alright. But for the most part, like these little shuttles and things, you won't see me use them because of the fact that there's just no reason to. Now, if I was doing a small ship go large, like the Stone Skipper that I built with S'more and a Dreadnought, if I was going to do something like that, I would put the gravity systems back on. Alright, we don't actually. You know, let's go ahead and we know that there's new from current. This is going to be asteroid number 1, and we know we have iron and silicon on it. Basically, if I need to come back for some reason and go looking for resources, I know where it's at. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take off from here. It's nice that we're in such a low gravity field because I can actually use this thing the way it's meant to be used. So we've got stuff over there. I know that we had another one there. Now the question is which way do we want to go? we know that we've got one there and one there, but we also have a fairly large one there. Those are in the gravity field. That one's outside the gravity field. And that one looks like that one's probably outside the gravity well also. Make sure we're heading in the mostly general direction that we need to be heading in. Alright, so we're going to head over here. And what we really want to make sure is that whatever direction we're heading, our altitude continues to climb until we're outside of the gravity well. Once we're outside the gravity well, then we don't really care which direction we go. It is a beautiful planet. Looks like we may have chosen the right direction, at least as far as hopefully finding resources. See how this goes. Oh, look, another asteroid over there. I'm seeing iron on that one. So if I don't know how well it's going to show up on YouTube, but when you're flying past them, if you see like a bright orange in the asteroid, that tells you it's got iron in it. So even if you don't see it when you get closer, by keeping it at the edge of your screen like that, you sometimes can hit the render where you'll see sort of into the voxels. Because if you notice when I look, wait for it to get past the strut there. But if you look at it direct on, sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. When you've got it at the edge, you can usually catch it because of the way that the lighting system works. It's one of those, you know, it's always fun to figure out little hacks and tricks like that. Alright, so let's get a little bit closer to this one. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves around a little bit. So I was doing this, I did a planetary start, I don't know, a couple months ago. And when I first got into space, the first asteroid had like, I don't know, it's like 200k platinum on it. Everybody was just like, I can't believe your luck. I've been, you know, I had one guy say he had been looking for something like 2 months real time, and he had found everything but platinum. It was the one resource he could not find, and for some reason the RNG on it. I think he had a mod that was playing with the frequencies of resource spawning, so you can get those if you're so inclined. We're gonna go external here for a second. That is a whole lot of iron. I'm seeing that's either ice or magnesium down there. Lots of iron, yeah, magnesium. I'll show you how I knew that was magnesium because of the sheen to it. It looks like ice with a little bit of a glow. It's kind of an interesting texture. Alright, so it's iron, magnesium. So we're gonna go ahead and set up our GPS 2. And the nice thing is that if you're doing this in multiplayer, you can have one person basically mapping things out and the other person piloting, so I wouldn't even have to stop and waste fuel on this this process. Now what we're going to do is we're going to back ourselves out that way. Oh, I saw iron. What was that that popped? I saw something pop. I must have been more iron. Alright. Okay, let's go. this way. See which one of these is closer. Looks like they might be about the same distance, but the one to the left is going to be larger. Alright, so let's try the smaller one first. So, yeah. Very traditional design of the ship. I've built things something similar to it. I tend to, with these types of first shuttles, I tend to go very much sled style like this. It's just easier to get everything that you need in place and keep it so that it's small enough to be useful. Alright. I want to go ahead and get back in first person here. We're now at 0.1 G, which is actually good. I saw what looked like it might be something other than iron. I know that this has got iron in it. I already saw it up in the top there. That is iron. That's more iron. Oh, is that silicon? It's either silicon or uranium. Let's move in a little closer and see if we can get a signal from it. Silicon, iron. Now, if we had a large grid ship with the an ore detector on it, we'd be seeing a lot more resource on the asteroid. Those things have like a quarter-kilometer on them as far as ranges are concerned for detection. Silicon and iron. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set a new one. Asteroid number 3, and this one's also going to be iron and silicon again. So if I'm finding this much iron, I may have problems finding platinum. Usually you can tell by the first couple of resources that you find what the rest of your resource table is going to look like. So we're going to go ahead and hit the next one over here. Figuratively, not literally. And we're still gaining altitude, so that's a good thing. And for one of the reasons why I'm so interested in being able to keep gaining altitude is that it makes it a little bit easier to get around if you do this. We're still gaining altitude, we still have enough speed to keep us moving. And I'm not burning quite as much fuel this way. But I am going to eventually start falling back towards the planet, which is what we've got going on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and head around this way. Now, if we don't find platinum on this asteroid, what I will probably do is do a quick cut. We'll travel around to a couple of more of the things in the local area and see if we can find any. And if not, well, even if I do or not, I'll bring you back, let you know what's going on, and we'll start looking for an idea, or see if we can build an idea for where we want to have our orbital base, because we're going to need to put one in at some point. So I want to make sure we find a good spot for it. We are almost at, look at that, there's a bunch of stuff up there. Okay. Now, I don't want to get to the point where we are spending all of our time in space. I do plan on taking the rover down there out for a little bit more of an exploration. I want to see more of the planet, but we do want to get the platinum. That's kind of a thing. And I know people are asking, well, why are you so worried about it, Hal? If you're not going to, if you're not going to spend time in space, you don't really need it. I actually want it for a couple of the things that we can make. Some of the mods that we have loaded require platinum in order to make pieces, and so I want to make sure we have the materials we need to make the pieces. Alright, so that's iron. Looks like ice. Is that silver in the middle of that? Ice and iron. I should probably have put some spotlights in the middle of this, on the sides. Let's go this way really quickly. Alright. Seeing some ice. We've got some iron. Anybody seeing anything else besides ice and iron? More iron. Alright, so you're going to be ice and iron. New from here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, get this one mapped, and then we are going to do a quick cut. I'm going to take a little jaunt around the local area, see what we can find, and if we find some platinum or not, we'll come back and let you know what's going on, what the plan is moving forward. Alright, so yeah, we will be right back. And we're back, and we ended up finding a rather large supply of platinum, which is actually rather fortunate. I thought it was silver there when I first started coming in. So this asteroid actually has iron, platinum, nickel, and ice on it. In fact, I haven't even set the waypoint for this yet. We just got here. So let's go ahead and get this going first. So we're going to go asteroid, what are you, number 5? Yeah, number 5. So we have iron, nickel, ice, and platinum on it. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves down just a little bit very carefully here. Now we are in 0G, and one of the things that I should probably mention when you're looking specifically for platinum, at one point in time there was a setting in the game that basically the default setting for platinum to determine whether or not platinum was eligible was if you were in a gravity well. Now, that may be true for planets, unless you specifically set it otherwise. Come on. Wait, come on, how much do we need to have for you to lock? You should be locking in here. Why are you not locking in? Alright. You know what? Hell with it. Because we need the materials. So we're going to go ahead and start mining some of the materials out. Come on, Bob. I'll make sure Bob's picking stuff up. Is Bob not turned on is the question. Bob's. Why are you turned off, Bob? Hey, there we go. Alright. So, Bob is going to start picking stuff up for us. Always nice of Bob. I swear, he is probably the 3 hardest working people I know. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some of the stuff from here out from underneath. See, this is where having a little bit of gravity wouldn't be a bad idea. But like I said, we've got like just a little small sled. We don't really need the gravity, you know, especially when you're using Bob. Bob's not going to chase down the bits for us. The bits and bobs, right? I'm wondering. Oh, I didn't bring any plates with me. See, if I'd brought plates, I could have put a block down. But we shouldn't need to. Bob, or the landing gear should attach to the asteroid. Watch, it's going to be something silly like they changed it so the system requires it to be, you know, like iron or something, or stone specifically. Alright, so that gets us a bit of platinum. Just a wee bit. Probably about 20k, maybe 30k. We've been grinding enough of this here. Whoop. Let's see how much platinum we have. Because I have a bit on me as well. Yeah, see, I wasn't too far off, right? I said about 30k. Alright. But we have platinum. We have platinum, we have iron. This is actually a good day. So let's go ahead and grab a little bit more out of here. Basically, I'm just trying to cut out a place where I can set the ship down so I'm not burning hydrogen while I'm just sitting there idling. I could turn the thrusters off. The problem is that if enough mass interacts with the ship will start drifting, and I don't want that happening. So I would rather burn a little bit of resource in order from having to go either rebuild the ship or have to go chase it down. I've done both and would prefer to do neither at this point. Let's go ahead and grab this. What I will do is I'll probably, since we have platinum here, I'm thinking I might actually set this place up as a temporary base. You know, just set something in here, maybe bring up like a beam drill or something, and just let it go to town. I could even do cargo shoats. Since the planet is... Where is the planet from us anyway? 53, planet is that way. Ah, see? And then this way, if you're far enough away, you see how the little beacon there brings your attention to it. So if I'm out here doing stuff and I lose where I'm at, if I'm not paying attention, when I look back in there, like, oh look, I can see a flashing light. Are you more platinum? Oh my god, dude, this whole place is... It's a platinum landmine! That didn't make any sense. Alright, so, with that being said, we have found our platinum. We are mining our platinum, and we have a bunch of other resources here in the area. So I'm going to go ahead and load this ship up, see what we can throw in there, and get it back to the planet. So, yeah, when we come back next time, we will probably be in freefall. That way you can see if everything crashes or not. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have a fantastic day. I want to thank you all for stopping in. If you enjoyed it, do make sure you hit that like button. Not only do the likes and comments in the section below help the channel to grow, lets me know that you're enjoying the content. And the only thing that really helps the channel grow more is if you smash that subscribe button, and it's greatly appreciated when you do. So if you enjoyed it, you want to see more, be sure to hit those buttons. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. Who knows? Next time, the ship might explode. Yeah, see? You want to see that, right? Anyway, I'm out here. Take care, everybody. As always, take care and be safe out there, everyone. Let's get some more platinum. Woohoo!